ask the question that you said, like, what do you want for your life? And I think that some people have like a weird perception of like, well, if I want money, that must mean that people are going to think I want to like buy a Lamborghini or buy whatever. And like, if that's your thing, great. But if it's not, like, you can still want more money and channel it into other things. Like, when I got clear on that, like why I actually wanted more money, because I want to actually build my business, because I want to actually reach more people, because I want to be able to reinvest that money in my own education and growing as a human being and growing as a business owner. And I know, Erin, you have a team. Like, I would love one day to have a team, all these things. And then I start to realize, like, money is not just about attaining more possessions. Like, money is a tool to be able to do better what I'm already doing. And when I finally got that thing, and when I was like, and then also, how does that allow me to have more free time? Because I charge like what I think are fair rates now in my classes and in my coaching. Okay, so now I've got more time freedom. Okay, so now I get to make more decisions and have more freedom, because ultimately money gives us freedom in some ways. Would you speak to like how that's happened for you?
So the one thing I want to say is, like, everybody that I come across, like a lot of artists like that are building the programs, when they first meet me, they're like, I want to make it accessible. I want to make it accessible. Listen, you have to understand that, like, who you want to serve and help from a giving place is not the same thing as your client. You need to position yourself to be working with people who could afford services that match the rate that you want. The people that you want to give back to, collecting that rate will allow you to give back to them. Another thing I heard in that book. Get that book. But get that book. It's just so good. But this is the other thing. Like, I employ a team of women creatives that are contractors. That is me giving. I am producing job opportunity that I would not be able to produce if I was not charging that rate. So you think automatically you're cutting yourself off and you're making it not inclusive for people, but you have to learn who you're selling to are not always the same people that you're giving to, right? And then freedom, right? I remember when I started my business, I was coaching people one-on-one. I was doing all of these different programs because my rates were so low. So I was working my full-time job and doing this. My husband, my relationship suffered, my friendship suffered, my self-esteem, my confidence suffered, my time, my sleep suffered, because I was charging such a low rate that I had to do more work with more people, that my freedom was not there. So now I charge more money for my rate so that I can experience more freedom and more relationships in my life. Something is a give and take, right? If you want to be a charity, that's one thing, but that's not the game that I'm playing here. And I think it's okay for people not to want to be a charity. Listen, I want to make money so I can employ my contractors. Like, I love them. I also want to make money so I can get my microblading done soon and get these hairs removed off my chin. Right. Like, that lady quoted me $400 for facial, $400 for 24 sessions for facial hair removal. That's for 2 years. Like, I want to make my money so I can do that. Like, why is that a bad thing? Do you know what I'm saying? Some of you can't even afford to live your life. You're nervous, you're scared. And if you want to change that, you have to change your rate.
Yeah, totally. And for me, this links into the bigger question of like, and therefore, do you actually understand the value of dance? Because I think this is like a huge, like it's on levels. Like, there's the individual level of like, do you feel worthy of charging those rates? And like, you've already explained that it's not about your worth, it's actually about like your excellence, etc. So there's like that side of things. But then there's also this, the like wider culture. And I always find it very interesting because like in certain situations, people will be like, oh yeah, I'm sure that the dancers who like go on tour with Beyonce, whatever, are like better paid than I am doing it, whatever else. And it's like, but you understand that dance itself is a valuable thing. And just because we have devalued it because we don't want to charge more does not mean that dance itself is not worthy of being paid well. Like, dance is a wonderful tool, the same as sport is a wonderful tool, the same as any other thing is a wonderful tool for people's lives. And so it's actually our jobs as people in the dance world to understand that dance is valuable and dance is worth paying for. And people do want to pay for things related to dance. Like, it's not just movements, like it's self-expression, it's people gaining confidence, it's people feeling their own physical power, their own abilities to create change in the world. And so we do a disservice by like a race to the bottom, right? Of like who can charge the lowest rate. And I always say like, I'm not Primark, I'm like Chanel or Dior. Like, I'm not trying to be the lowest possible rate and like, please come to my classes and I'm going to work all hours of all the days. No, like I'm giving you a premium dance experience and I charge for that.
Yeah, like my program is 4 figures. At first I was nervous to charge it, but the people that I'm supposed to work with come in because I'm learning and always learning and growing on how to articulate the value. Listen, you feel scared about raising your rates because it's not the norm. But why do you have to stay inside of the norm, right? You don't have to. And just because other people charge lower doesn't mean people aren't going to buy from you because your prices are higher. What you charge needs to be based off of your needs and the experiences you want to have in life, not off of what you see other people charging. People will pay for what they value. Everybody's not going to pay $400 for 24 sessions to get hair removed off their face, but I see value in it because I hate plucking the hairs off of my face. Do you see what I'm saying? So people pay for what they need. But the problem is you have to be able to articulate to people what you offer and why they need it.
Yeah, totally. That for me is like, I'm still learning that big time.
Yeah.
Like how to properly articulate it. And part of that is being unapologetically like unapologetically like owning your gifts. And that's something that I love and admire about you, because you are like so upfront about like, here's the places where I've struggled. Here's the places where like I'm still working on like getting better, but you also own the stuff that you're really good at. And that is such a gift to the rest of us to also give us permission to do the same thing. Is that something that you always have been good at doing, or did you have to like learn that?
Natalie, it's so nice to hear that from you because it's like you're an outside perspective looking in. I think when I'm creating my content or speaking, I don't know if I go in with the intention to do that. It's just like my life experience. Like, who am I attracted to? I'm attracted to people who don't come off perfect and who authentic people use all the time, but who seem really human to me. So I just guess I've made a mental note, like I want to seem human, and it's a balance, right? I'm always learning how to balance what I want to keep close to my chest and what I want to share with everyone and how to share it, right? But I think it's important being a woman, being a business